Alright, it's time we take a brief recap. At the beginning, we talked about the counting principle, how to combine events with and or, depending on whether they are independent events or mutually exclusive events. So sometimes we multiply together, sometimes we add them together, depends on their nature. Alright. And on top of that, we introduce the NPR and the NCR notation, the permutation and the combination. It's about the number of ways for certain specific arrangement. NPR will be the number of ways to line up R objects out of a pool of N different objects. On the other hand, NCR will be the number of ways to group, alright, not to line up, but to group them together. Once again, R objects out of a pool of N different objects. So this is the meaning of the NPR and NCR symbol. To calculate the value, you can use the calculator, or you can invoke the factorial notation to calculate the NPR and the NCR. Alright. So that was the we talked about previously. So now it's time for us to look at some past paper questions. These are some of the examples taken from DSE past papers. Alright. So some of them they are MC questions, some of them they are section B questions. So here we go. Now the first one. It says that there are 20 boys and 15 girls in the class. Alright. So boys, there are 20 of them. Alright. And then girls, there are 15. Alright. Now being persons, of course, they are unique. Right. You don't have to say there are 20 different boys and 15 different girls. Right. The idea of different is already assumed in the context. Right. So if we have 6 students, they are selected from a class to form a committee. Alright, consists of at most 2 girls. Okay, at most 2 girls. This is the key word, right? So at most 2 girls, what does that mean? That can be so it can be 2 girls. Alright, 2 girls is good. If because there's a committee of 6. Alright, so 2 girls means there are 4 boys. Alright. So this is at most 2 girls, right? In addition, we can have just 1 girl, right? Just 1 girl and 5 boys. These are some of the possible ways we can achieve at most 2 girls, right? If there is 1 girl, then there are 5 boys, right? In order to make a committee of 6. And don't forget that we can also have an all boys combination, alright? 6 boys, no girl. This is also compatible with the description of at most 2 girls, right? Now these are mutually exclusive events. It's either 4 boys, 2 girls, or 5 boys, 1 girl, or 6 boys, no girl, alright? They are mutually exclusive. If the committee consists of 5 boys and 1 girl, it cannot be 4 boys and 2 girls, alright? So these are mutually exclusive events. We connect them with or, because they are, once again, mutually exclusive. So we connect them with or. Alright. Now behind it, we know that the mathematics is to add them together. Now we'll see later on. Alright. So then we have to think about how many ways are there to select the 4 boys. Alright. First of all, is it NPR or NCR? Is it a permutation or combination? Is the ordering important? Obviously, in this case, the ordering is not important, right? If the committee, they have posts, like if I have nominate someone to be the president, the vice president, the secretary, and so on, if there are posts assigned, then the arrangement is important. That becomes an NPR question. Now, you just form a committee, right? So the position is not important. There is an NCR situation. So among the 20 boys, to pick 4 boys, you have 20C4. So many ways to do it. For 15 girls, to pick 2 of them, you have 15C2. Alright? That is the 4 boy, 2 girl arrangement. Alright? You have 20 boys, you choose 4 of them, so that is 20C4. You have 15 girls, you choose 2 of them, so that is 15C2. Alright. Now then the next question is, do we multiply or add them together? Do we add them together or do we multiply them together? So once again, we have to think about whether they are independent or mutually exclusive. Alright. So if I tell you who the 2 girls are, right? Do you have any idea what the 4 boys are? If you know, then that is not independent. If there is no information, if I tell you who the 2 girls are, then you have no idea who the boys are. Then the boys and girls selections, they are independent. Alright, what you chose for the 4 boys has no effect on the selection of the girls. So these are independent events. Independent events, we multiply them together. So that is the 4 boy, 2 girl situation. At the same time, we have the 5 boy, 1 girl. 5 boy, that is 20C5. And that the 1 girl is 15C1. Alright, once again, we multiply together. And lastly, we have the 6 boy, no girl situation. 6 boy will be 20C6. Alright, we don't have to choose the girl because you don't choose a girl, 0 girl, or all boy combination. Now, among this, we add them together. We add them together. This is the answer. Alright, at most 2 girl means that there are 2 girls, there is a girl, or there's no girl. Alright, at most 2. So if there are 2 girls, there are 4 boys. 1 girl, 5 boys. No girl, 6 boys. So we construct all these different ways, right, to choose 4 boys out of 20, 2 girls out of 15, and so on. And then we use the calculator to punch this number. And the answer to this question goes to D. Alright, there are 780,000 ways and 45 ways for the selection of this committee. Alright. So now, several ideas in this question. First, do we use NPR or NCR? Think about that, alright? Is it an NPR or an NCR situation? Secondly, when you combine the events, when do you use multiplication? When do you use addition to combine these red and purple numbers, alright? When do you use addition or multiplication? Alright, so once you ask yourself these 2 questions, you can construct all this number and get the final answer. Right. Now, at the bottom of the page, there is a very similar question. There are 21 boys and 11 girls in a class. If 5 students are chosen from a class to form a committee, consists of at least 1 boy. Now, once again, the keyword is at least 1 boy. Alright. So at least 1 boy, what does that mean? That can be 1 boy, 2 boys, 3 boys, 4 boys, and 5 boys. Alright. Okay, so we get the number of girls to make up to 5 people. So 1 boy will be 4 girls, 2 boy will be 3 girls, 3 boy, 2 girls, 4 boy, 1 girl, 5 boy, no girl. Alright. So it's just very similar to the previous. We multiply all these combinations together, alright, and eventually we add them up. Alright, so we can do it like this. Alright, so there would be 21C1, alright, and then 15C4. Am I right? These 2 we multiply together. Right? If you look at the previous question, it's just very similar, alright. So the 1 boy, 4 girl situation, the ways to do that will be 21C1. You have 21 ways to select the boy, so that is 21C1. And then you have to select 4 girls among the 11, among the 11. Alright, among the 11 girls. So to select 4 girls out of the 11, you have 11C4. So many ways to do that. We multiply them together. And similarly, we can do all this, alright.